Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watch Team is here with your latest update on the tropics. We have a lot to talk about today. We now have 70% chance of development in the next 48 hours for Invest 94L, according to the National Hurricane Center of their latest advisory at 7 a.m. Here's the system right here. As you can see, a lot of convection. It is already closing in on Barbados right now as we speak. As you can see, roughly right around here in this area, they're getting a lot of heavy rain. Here are the Leeward Islands over here in the Lesser Antilles. We'll be moving into the Greater Antilles here as the storm continues to track towards towards the Caribbean. What I'm mainly worried about here is the fact that this storm could, if this goes over it, if this misses to the south of the island Hispaniola, this storm could intensify a lot more, and we could have a much bigger deal and much bigger trouble on our hands. Right now, we have to deal with the fact that this will be producing heavy rain. The Leeward Islands right here are very mountainous. So China is a volcanic chain of islands. And that basically means that it's very mountainous. And that is very, very bad because we have to deal with lots of mountains. Flooding is lots easier to happen, and landslides and mudslides also are bigger. Now, the reason I always bring up, August 20th. We're coming up to August 20th. And that's when we think we're going to have the hurricane season going to start off. Is generally that is the climatological point of when the hurricane season takes off, is roughly around the 20th of August. Just so you have that idea. So we're watching this storm. Lots of heavy rain and lots of flooding is likely from the system. That's stuff going on in the chat. So this is what we're looking at right now. I just kind of want to bring up. So here's what we got for radar. There's that system right there. Just do a refresh here. There's a system there, again, 70% chance of development on the next 48 hours. So it is approaching the Lesser Antilles, actually Barbados right now. I just want to bring in the fact that flooding, in addition, heavy rains and flooding are likely for the Leeward Islands, Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Again, this area is very, very vulnerable to tropical systems coming through this area and can bring gusty winds in that area. So this is what we're looking at. There's that system right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we got here in terms of radar. So here's the radar. We are getting some rain just to the north of Barbados here, as you can clearly see. Let's actually look at the satellite here. So again, we have an idea. There is that system, a huge burst of convection there. A burst of convection, it looks like there earlier, over almost 2 hours ago, over Barbados. But I just kind of want to point out to y'all what we are dealing with right here. So here is that system. Again, a lot of convection, a lot of heavy rain, and a lot of gusty winds with this will be possible. Now, again, this won't be like a hurricane, but again, the biggest threat from this storm will by far be heavy rain. So as this continues to move through the Caribbean, it's going to be so here's the system right here. It's going to be moving in this direction. Here are the Leeward Islands right through here, British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, and then Puerto Rico's up here. So as you can see, it's going to move in this general direction and could move up here. If this crosses over Hispaniola, it could get ripped apart. But that would also cause landslides, mudslides, a lot of heavy rain, and definitely threats to life and property. So flooding and heavy rains and damage to life and property is expected if the storm does in fact make landfall there in the island Hispaniola. But it moves south. A lot of the models have been showing, oh, it's going to keep moving north. Well, the storm hasn't moved very far north at all. In fact, it's actually come farther south because models have not been anticipating not only just the strength of the high pressure, but how broad the high pressure is, affecting such a much larger region of not only the North Atlantic, but also the Caribbean there. So this is going to continue moving west, and it could be even moving a little farther south than where it is right now. But definitely Barbados and the Caribbean is going to be affected by this storm for sure, as we continue to see heavy rain and gusty winds with this system. Flooding is most certainly going to be a huge threat with this system. So there's that system. Lots of heavy rain and lots of gusty winds. So I really want to also look at forecast models so we have an idea of what the models are showing. Western Atlantic. So there's that system right there. The GFS really doesn't show anything with this. And so I'm going to automatically just go straight over and look at the icon, because we believe that it has a better chance of being more accurate with what the icon is showing. So as you can see, just moving just to the south of Puerto Rico. Again, they'd be on the west side, they'd be getting heavy rain. But again, if this moves right over, notice how this moves right over Hispaniola, which is an incredibly mountainous island with it has a mountain of about 10,000 feet. It does fall apart quite a bit, but it redevelops there just to the south of Florida. Now again, this is 120 hours out. Now regardless of the development of the tropical system, heavy rain and flooding will be the biggest threat by far with this system. Flooding is going to be huge and definitely going to be a serious threat that we're going to have to watch out for with this system, depending if this is in fact actually where it makes landfall. We can really see it actually really doesn't look too bad, even as it's continuing moving in this general region. So really we're going to watch what this system does here in the next few days. So that's what we're seeing there. I wonder what the HWT is actually saying for Invest 94L. So again, I kind of want to just point out to the fact that look how broad this area is. It's definitely an area of broad low pressure. So again, you can kind of see it tries to get its act together. Definitely a tropical storm here. Now you see 1,002 millivolts. That's definitely a tropical storm. 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. It's tighter center of circulation. We got very rain wrapped here. Lots of rain wrapping around the center circulation. Large bands of very, very heavy rain. I don't know if this is in inches. Is this in inches? I don't know if it's in inches. That would be helpful if I knew. But lots of heavy rain over Puerto Rico. Now, this is the HWT. This is one of the hurricane models. This could be a 50 to a 60 mile an hour tropical storm making landfall there in Puerto Rico. Again, it moves right over the northern part of Hispaniola, as you can see. So, again, heavy rain and flooding. I got to make sure I have that pointed out. Heavy rain and flooding is going to be the biggest threat with this system. As you can see, it does fall apart a lot because, again, Hispaniola, 10,000-foot mountain there, ripping this system apart. Now, regardless of development, this would still produce heavy rain. Now, we don't know if it gets this far west. If it makes it this far west, there would be a heavy rain over the Keys, Marathon, Key West, Florida, and parts of southern Florida in that area. So it really has its strength right around this area where it intensifies to about a 1,001 millibar tropical storm. So let's take a look at the H monitor and see what the H monitor is saying. So I just kind of want to look at all the different models so we have an idea of what we're dealing with here, what we're talking about here, so we have an idea of how strong the system really could get. So again, much weaker. Now again, regardless of the strength in terms of air pressure, biggest threat with this system, again, in my opinion, in my own general opinion, is going to be the heavy rain. So you can see heavy rain. So it kind of shows that the storm practically almost completely falls apart. And it's just all over the place. So the H-Mon does not really do a lot with this in terms of intensity. This is what the GFS is saying for Invest 94L. Sort of, it kind of rips the storm apart completely. In my opinion, I think the storm is going to become more intense than what some of these models are saying. Intense in terms of air pressure and in terms of what we're looking at here. So this storm certainly shows the storm. This model shows the storm trying to develop, moving into the west, eastern Gulf of Mexico, probably making landfall as a strong tropical storm, probably with winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour there in Mobile, Alabama. Right there. Right over Mobile, Alabama there. Then moves to the north. Now, again, we really don't know how far north this is going to go. I do want to look at the wind speed so we have an idea of what we're looking at in terms of wind speed. So this doesn't show this becoming a tropical storm. Maybe here in 60 hours. Maybe a tropical storm. Now, I'm wondering how strong this actually becomes. It says winds of about 46, so about 55. Again, 55 to 60 miles an hour. Upon landfall there. So as you can see, the storm does move. It does actually become, now I don't want to say super strong, but as you, actually 998 millibars, it's a 54 knots, so that's about a 65 mile an hour tropical storm, like I was saying. A 60 mile an hour tropical storm, that was just based on what I was seeing. And so, it is something I did want to point out that it tries to hold its intensity if the HWT is in fact correct. If I go to GFS, no, I don't want to. GFS, I want to know what they're saying for Invest 93L. I don't even know what is going on here. They bring this right into South America. Okay, that's just wrong. That doesn't happen. Not usually, I should say. So, here's the latest. This is high resolution satellite imagery of the storm. Have that timestamp up there at 15:01 UTC there. A lot of convection in this area. A lot of heavy rain beginning to develop. Lots of convection to the south. Convection there. So the storm is really trying to get its act together and trying to develop itself into some kind of a tropical system. And so if we get a tropical, now regardless if we get a tropical system or if we don't get a tropical system, the storm will continue to will produce heavy rain. I actually want to go to Zoom Earth, have an idea of what we're looking at in terms of rain fall right now. So just to the north, we are seeing some moderate rain. Mainly in this area, we're just seeing a mist to a drizzle. So the rain is nothing intense at all in the Barbados region. Gotta wait for this to load a bit. Give me a minute. Wait for this to load. This isn't loading very well. So as you can see, we're seeing light rain, moderate rain to the north over here. But we're starting to see the storm really begin to pick up in terms of what we're going to see in terms of development and organization. So this is the past several hours of what the storm has done in terms of organization. Now, in terms of organization, the storm has organized a lot of convection, as you can see right there. There's the storm. Lots of convection right here. Lots of cloudiness over Barbados. Conditions are going to continue to deteriorate throughout the day in Barbados as the storm continues to make its way to the west. So that right now is what we are seeing here is with this system. What we're looking at with this system, it is continuing to move to the west, and it's going to continue to produce heavy rain in Barbados and the Leeward and Lesser Antilles. What the hurricane watching is saying with this is we think this could intensify to a tropical storm by today. A lot of the models don't even show that, but we think this could intensify to a tropical storm, given what we're seeing right now, looking at all this, looking at the convection. So there's a lot of convection going on with this system. So we think now our next update will be at 1 p.m. Central Time. We thought they would do an update at 10 a.m. Central Time, but they didn't make it as a the system that we thought it would be. I'm going to go to YouTube and see if I have any questions. Or just any comments, questions, or concerns. Okay, nothing. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I got some stuff that I need to show y'all. Pull this up right now. So this is Barbados' radar. This is probably from the official website of Barbados. Oh, here, I just click this. Perfect. So you can see the center circulation is still far from the west, far to the east, I should say. Here are the Leeward Islands over here. Here is Barbados right here. This is in kilometers, so well, we can't actually tell where the center circulation is in terms of just what we're looking at here. And then also this. two. We got this invest, we got Kevin over here, we have this investigation, and then we have these two systems up here. So this is the system we're looking at right here. So this is just looking at all these. So again, this is the GFS ensemble at 0Z. Excuse me. And so again, now the GFS I don't really agree with. I want to see what the ECMWF is saying. ECMWF, where was it? Was it this one? No. It was this one. Can I just open image? Perfect. Open image in new tab. And then zoom in. So the X's are where the storm is at. And as you can see, all the models show that the storm would be farther to the north and go in this direction. But look at where the storm actually is. It's moving farther south. And so really what we could see, it could go farther over to the west like that. But right now, this is what we're looking at. The storm is not gaining enough latitude fast enough. Even though, yes, it is to the north of Barbados. Just a little bit to the north. I think it's going to miss Barbados to the north. But regardless, Barbados is still going to get impacts. They're still going to get heavy rain. They're still going to get... even though we're seeing storm is not gaining latitude like it should, and that is something that I'm worried about because it's not getting enough latitude. If it's moving like, where's it at? This, and it's going like, and it's slowly doing like this. Who knows? They may completely miss. Okay, now it depends. These storms can change. This storm could just go like this, like this, like this, and then just go like that and go well to the north. It all depends on the high pressure, the intensity, how big the high pressure is, how broad it is, how much it's covering, if it's how far west it's going. If it's super powerful, it's like 1,035 millibars. It's got to keep this thing to the south. If it moves to the west, even if it weakens down to 1,000, let's say 1,025 millibars, but it moves to the west, it can still push it down south. It can farther south because it's getting closer and it's pushing it farther to the west. If it cannot gain enough latitude, then that is when we could have problems in terms of severe impacts, like including flooding for sure. Oh yes, this. Whew, okay. Alright, this is that fish. What is this? What matters? Oh, okay, this is the intensity, right? So these are the intensity of the storm. Oh, track intensity trends. Okay, model, okay. Do I have the right thing? Average of all models. Is this what we want? Okay, so quit calling me. Random people are calling me. Leave me alone. So as you can see, here's the center of circulation. I think this is where it's been verified where the center of circulation's at. You can see it's been roughly down here, down here, down here. It's been moving in the westward, but it needs to be moving farther to the north. And so it's going to be impacting Barbados and majority of all the Leeward and Lesser Antilles. There's a good chance it could go right over the island of Hispaniola, but there's also a good chance that, unfortunately, it could also move and impact. It could also impact the East Gulf. So now that is a while out from now, and so we don't exactly know. But certainly, right now, what we're looking at right now is the heavy rain and the flooding with this right now moving into Barbados. So okay, now I'm also going to look at weathermodels.us, weather US, but I just kind of want to show y'all, this is the heavy rain, that is some rain beginning to move into Barbados area. Anything going to continue to move to the west, or the rain continue to move through into the west, but right now, probably around 1 o'clock, I think, is when we could see, we may actually see this be upgraded. I don't know yet. It's possible, but it may not be for another 6 hours. It may not be until 4 p.m. Who knows? But we will see. So I'm going to go to Weather US and look at that stuff. So, something close. Infrared. New satellite Super HD, is that like a possibility? I don't think it is. I think it's too far to... Okay. There she is. Let's see how this just looks for the past 2 hours. I want to know what we're looking at here. I want to have an idea of what we're looking at. Satellite images right now and how much this storm has developed. This is just, honestly, just the past 2 hours. That is what it's looked like in the past 2 hours. Can I actually look at... Can I do this? Will this be nice? No, I can't do that. How about you? No? You? No. Yeah, actually I can. Oh, it's going to take so long. But here's the system there, ladies and gentlemen. I can actually just do the past 8 minutes. That's like nothing. It's done nothing in the past 8 minutes. The past half an hour. So, I'm going to be watching this storm. We're going to be watching this storm very carefully. I'm not going to look at the models, but I also really want to get a good idea of what this storm is looking like and what this storm is doing here on satellite, and what we're looking here on satellite imagery. Because this storm is starting to take shape and take a really good shape of what it's looking like here. So here it is. Here's that storm. As you can see there in the motion, looking very nice in that motion that we're seeing. It's gonna take forever, let's be honest. An image a day. Okay, since 1981. No idea what that means. Past freaking 15 hours. That's what the storm has done though, just the past hour or so. So I just sort of wanted to just show y'all. This is the past. I actually want to make the past 4 hours. So this is what the storm has done just the past 4 hours. Yeah. Wait, it hasn't done anything yet. It's gonna go. So there's the past 4 hours. I don't want to do too much, but that is what we're looking at in just the past 4 hours right now, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of convection. Look at how much convection we have seen in this storm in just the past 4 hours. Lots more convection. I almost want to say the storm's starting to rotate. Huge amount of convection there in the center. Convection to the west, to the east, even down there to the southwest, and even to the north. So there's convection all over the storm. It's looking great. It's really starting to look good. In the past 5 hours, that's still what we're looking at. We'd have to go to like probably 10 hours behind ago. 10 hours ago. No, probably more than that. We wouldn't be able to see anything. But I just sort of wanted to show you the satellite and just how much we've seen. Look at that. We're seeing new cloud top convection here. Just lays right there, right there. New convection already in the convection. It's like convection inside a convection. It's crazy. The convection of the storm is just incredible. It's almost like it's nothing that I have ever seen. It's incredibly and honestly impressive. I still can't see anything. Darn. I have to go the past 16 hours, probably, honestly. Oh, jeez. Oh, no, still nothing. So I just kind of wanted to give the people the idea of really and honestly what we're looking at with this system. There's a lot of convection with the storm. The storm is intensifying a lot more than, previously anticipated. And that's certainly something that people here, meteorologists and people on YouTube and just people in general, what we're looking at and what we're kind of worried about in terms of what the development of the storm, what we could see. So, certainly insane and certainly something crazy. That's Super HD. This is regular HD. It doesn't look very HD, I gotta be honest. 23-hour time. Jeez. Truthfully, only give us the past 48 minutes. And so I'm gonna wait for that to load. Actually, it doesn't do anything even if you do wait for it to load. I'm going to actually move back over here just sort of talk about the convection that we're seeing here. I actually want to go to long wave. So that's the convection we're talking about right now. It is incredible. I don't even know what to say about it. 60% there, 70%, 80, 90, 100. There's just always new convection happening with this storm. That's what makes the storm so incredible. So we're going to be looking at observations and other models with this system because, you know, there's a lot that we're going to start to see with the storm as it changes through time. And as we know, flooding is always going to be a big getting voicemails from people, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. It's kind of comical. That's blinky as hell. What the hell's going on here? Alright, I'm going to go to observations. Weather observations. This is, I don't know if this is live or if this is real. If it's real, the report at 10 a.m. Continuous light rain. What else do we have in terms of observations? This would tell me. I don't know if this tells me. Well, it doesn't tell me the air pressure. It doesn't tell me. Click on change parameters for more. Oh, I forget all about that. Weather observations. Sea level pressure. Sea level pressure. So 1,014 millibars here. Reported at 10 a.m. I want to see wind. Well, I know wind won't be a huge problem. Actually, precipitation. No, not snow depth. No one cares about snow depth. Right now, 10 minutes. Precipitation total in 10 minutes. Okay then, there's literally nothing going on. East, coming in from the east-northeast, around 60 degrees. I want to see wind speed. Just wondering. Let's see, wind gusts. 32 miles an hour. That's actually kind of insane and incredible. It's be really helpful to use wind speed maximum. There's like no wind speed. Okay, air pressure at station. There we go. Air pressure at station. Okay, there's no station here. Okay. You can change the hour, by the way. Oh, okay. Wait, what hour are we at? We're like 10:40. First off, we're at 10:40, okay? I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, this is pressure change in air pressure. So this is 1/10 of a millibar. So 10 millibars would be actually a millibar. So that'd be 20 millibar drop, and this would be 15 millibar increase. Yeah. I'm mainly just worried about the rain rate, but it won't really. It's honestly not telling me anything. So right now, there's just a lot of light rain happening right now. That's not super crazy. Very, very light rain. And so, not a lot of crazy or super insane stuff happening at the moment. But I don't want to kill people with my boredom. So we're going to continue to be watching this. I know it's nothing super exciting or super interesting at the moment, but we will certainly get there with stuff going on. Storm intensifying. So I'll be getting more links shortly. I'm really interested to see what the update at like 1 o'clock update or the update at 1800 ETC is going to say. If I don't freaking fall asleep here. Yeah, okay. Alright. Yes, open. Oh, this is interesting. So these are wind speed in miles an hour. So we're not seeing any tropical storm force wind speeds at all. I'll put this back up. We're not obviously seeing any tropical storm force winds, but again down here, close to where the center circulation is probably closer. Like, here's this. It's probably like up in this region, but 28 miles an hour down to the south. In Bridgetown, near Bridgetown, Barbados, we're seeing winds around 23 miles an hour. But the wind speed won't be a huge problem. It will be the rainfall. So, where you live, we're going to see these. I think this storm, if it intensifies to a tropical storm, we could possibly see this become, we could see tropical storm watches, even tropical storm warnings being put in effect because, well, what we got going on. Okay. I'm actually curious, is there an aircraft reconnaissance? Darn it. There's not. There's Kevin. There's 93L. I'm thinking it doesn't even look like it's existing. Looks like it's died off, but we'll see if it comes back. 94L still trying to get its act together better. Okay, we got stuff going on down here. Got more observations. Oh, and there's gonna be a reconnaissance tomorrow. And these are weather observations in this region. Again, we're seeing light rain. If we go over here and take a look at, well, we don't need to know, what is this? Sea level pressure, QFF. So see 1,016 millibars on a lot of these areas, 1,015, 1,019. As you go farther north, you see where that area of high pressure is. You can really start to see, oh, okay, there's where that area of high pressure is. We're talking 1,028 millibars. So that high pressure is a lot high. You can really see 1,028 close to 1,030 millibars with where that area of high pressure is at. What's daily? I don't know. So if we take a look at, well, we don't need to know humidity, clouds, precipitation. Well, we need to know precipitation. But, 2014. There's even some dust reports there in the Lesser Antilles. So, actually, maybe we will look at the humidity. The humidity. Take a look at the relative humidity. So these are 69 to 70%, 84% out here, 70%, 60%. Some areas as low as 49% humidity. I would assume mainly because there is some dry air, 55%. We zoom into this area, you can really see what we're looking at in terms of humidity. 44% down here. So some areas are seeing a lot low. Lower humidity probably because of that dust. What's this? What's this? Very, 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 very interesting. So, when we're back to temperature. Surges in these areas are very, very warm. Not that this is going to matter because we're not doing not really doing a weather report in terms of temperature. We're doing a weather report not dew point. We don't need dew point. Dew point, we don't care. So, I'm like starting to fall asleep, and we don't really have to talk about this all the time. But I did want to just bring up the water vapor. So we just have an idea of what we're looking at with water vapor. So to the north, you can kind of see some drier air to the north in this region trying to pull in this direction. But you can kind of see, you can actually see the dry air moving farther to the west in this direction. And you can actually see, move this out of the way. See the convection coming on in this region. You can see it's spreading outward and trying to push that dry air away from the storm. So, yeah. So this right here is air pressure at station. Again, we're seeing 1,006 millibars, which it actually dropped to as low as 1,005.3, 1,005.2. Has been its roughly its lowest there at 7 a.m. Why is that such a late? So again, there is quite some low air pressure in these regions, even 1,012 farther to the north up here, as you can sort of see right here, 1,010. So air pressure is relatively not super duper high, but we're gonna watch if the storm intensifies and moves to the west. So here's what we're dealing with. Let me exit out of this. Is if this storm continues to intensify like we're seeing right here, and this begins to move farther to the west, and we actually see this intensify to a tropical storm, we'll actually be able to watch weather conditions deteriorate in different regions based on weather satellites, and we'll see air pressure and rain rates and wind speeds and just a lot of different things we can do with this website. So this is definitely a some tools that we'll be using in the future to use in terms of tracking tropical systems as they make landfall or just get closer to land, like in this case. Now again, this is just a tropical wave, and so this isn't something super big, but still a lot of heavy rain with this storm. A lot of heavy rain with this storm for sure. Oh, we got so much stuff here. It's insane. I can actually like. Wind. Oh yes, this is wind. I completely forgot about wind. Even existed. Nothing incredibly huge in terms of wind speed. I'm gonna go out to 20 hours. 30 hours, not a lot showing in terms of development. So 29 mile an hour wind. I think this is developing faster than they're anticipating. So it just looks like a tropical wave, honestly. There it is there. It just doesn't look very good. We'll go automatically out to over 100 hours out from now. You kind of see it's starting to get its act together. There it is, about 30, where winds estimate to be about 31 miles an hour. We go straight out to 180, and boom, there it is. We go farther to the north here. I honestly think it's gonna be stronger than 35 mile an hour winds. I don't think it's gonna take almost 200 hours for it to reach tropical depression status. All right. I think it's already got winds of over 30 miles an hour. We can actually go to windy here, or winds over 20 miles an hour. It says, oh, winds are only 20 miles an hour, whatever. But we actually go to wind. I can't actually do icon, see? Wait, I can. The icon, there you go, you can kind of see 20 knots, so about 25 mile an hour winds. Settings. The GFS says barely 20, maybe 25 mile an hour winds. And the European model is showing close to 30 mile an hour winds, with wind gusts being well into tropical storm force winds. As you can see there, about 40 mile per hour tropical storm force winds. So in the future, you can see, I think this is You actually can see we are seeing winds of. I think the gusts might be close to the actual wind speed. Right there, right on over Puerto Rico. What's the icon showing? So this is the icon. It doesn't go as far into the future, but this is what it shows. It shows a very weak storm. It shows wind speeds being maybe 25 to 30 miles an hour. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, look at how well this already looks. I mean, I know it doesn't look super duper incredible, but there's a lot of convection going on there. So yeah. Simulated satellite for European model. Okay. And then go to free zoom. There are ads every day, all the time. I can actually see what it's like a wave right here. It looks like it. Anyway. All parameters. Okay. Okay, I'm actually gonna go to this one here. Yeah, and then obviously go and change dates. So as you can see, quite a bit of convection there. We're 42 hours out. Storm tries to get its act together. 50 hours out. Almost looks like it falls apart there. There's 60 hours out. Very, very. There's that system right there. 70 hours out. Goes right over the northern part of the Dominican Republic. We go 80 hours out. It still looks very not so good. But really, does it go over the Dominican Republic or the island Hispanic go south, or does it go to the north? That's what we're gonna have to watch. Look out for and watch. So and there it is right there. And now according to this, it looks like it goes right on into Florida. Look at that convection according to the European model. Got 130 hours out. Right into Miami. I mean, that is a lot of heavy rain. We zoom into this area. I zoomed into Miami, not Cuba. Okay, this clearly doesn't know the difference between Miami. There we go. That's the shot I was trying to get. Lots of convection near the center. Lots of probably, some banding out this direction. Heavy rain over Freeport and probably Marsh Harbor. We go to 140 hours out. You can kind of see it goes inland. And so we kind of see a lot more of the heavier rain in this region. We go straight up to 200 hours out. You can kind of see it begins to move off to the north and to the... Okay, and then there it is in North Carolina. So that's sort of what we're looking at right now. I'm probably gonna have to end it off there because my mom wants me to do stuff, and we've been streaming here for an hour. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to go in the chat or go into the comment section of this video or stream whenever you're watching this. I'm gonna probably end it off there. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, morning. I don't know. depends on where you are in the world watching this. Have a wonderful rest of your morning or afternoon. I'm going to be probably ending this off here. I have things I've unfortunately got to do. But the hurricane watching will be closely monitoring what the storm does. We will come out with an update in the next 2 hours at 1 p.m. Central Time. If you want to be part of the hurricane watch team, it would be highly appreciated. We need people to be part of the hurricane watch team. Feel free, you can either email us at hurricanewatchteam@gmail.com, DM us on Instagram at hurricanewatchteam, or you can DM us on Twitter at watchhurricane. We have all those certain ways, and then you can also DM me on Discord, which my Discord is in the description of this video. So if you want to be part of the hurricane watching, it would be highly appreciated. We need all the help we can get right now. With all that being said, if you want to be part of the hurricane watching, feel free. And that's been today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, and peace out.